I think we're live, everybody. We're live. We're doing this right now. Welcome to the 10th annual, 10th weekly live stream, VFX live stream. We have come a long way together, and it's very exciting. It is very, very exciting. So there's a lot of announcements today, a lot of very fun announcements, and I'll kind of just go through... Well, I guess while y'all roll in, I'll take a bite of my yogurt here. My crunchy yogurt. Delicious. We got bananas. We got almonds, of course. Greek yogurt. Plain. And, Christian, we do have the kombucha today. This is the Cayennade GT's kombucha. Spice up the evening. It'll spice up the morning, wherever y'all are from. Welcome from around the world. Guys, we're doing this. So today is... I'm very, very, very excited for today's live stream here. So, as y'all can see, there's a brain here in my C4D viewer. And basically what we're doing today... CG Studio, thank you for the super chat, y'all. That is a super chat. Had that enabled a few weeks ago. How am I doing? I'm doing really well, actually. The Corridor crew is working from home. I'm very, very happy to be working from home because, you know, I do have a little setup here. And it's peaceful. The door's open. The sun is shining through. We got our cats over here enjoying the day, enjoying the sunlight. And oh goodness, I'm glad there's audio. You scared me for a second. But yes, the cats are enjoying the audio. Hopefully, are you guys, can you guys hear me? Hopefully y'all can hear me. Give me some thumbs ups. Lagging super hard. Y'all lagging? Or is it just Manus right now? But, yeah, things are nice. You know, I've been running, training for a half marathon. I've been doing yoga, been working out. So things have been fantastic. Honestly, things really have been. I hope y'all are safe. I hope y'all are healthy. But what are we doing today? We're talking about ways to get out of writer's block, get out of creator's block, because it happens all the time. And there was a period of, a few years where I was just super down and I couldn't really create stuff. And, it was very, very frustrating for me. And I tried everything. I tried, just forcing it, just writing. And this comes to, drawing as well. What do I draw? What do I create? What do I render? What do I write? I don't know. And when you sit down and do it, it just feels like you're pulling teeth, So what we're talking about today is how to circumnavigate that thing called writer's block or any sort of creative block. And I'm going to demonstrate to you guys a fun way how I've been doing it in the past. And we can get really into writer's block and, the effects of it and different ways to get around it. But I want to show you guys one thing real quick. So on my Instagram, I have a couple renders that I did over Christmas break. And specifically this one here, right? This is from a book. This was described in a book. And when I was reading this book, it gave me, it really intrigued me, and it gave me some sort of mental image. And I was like, you know what? I really want to take that and create it, because at the end of the day, I'm a director. I love writing. I love directing. And I would love to, maybe hopefully one day, direct and adapt a Haruki Murakami novel into a feature film. And this is from Hard Boiled Wonderland and the End of the World, I believe is the name of the book. Yep, I have it right here. It's a fantastic book. One of my all-time favorites. And this is just a little excerpt from the book. And this was kind of the mental image it gave me. Same for this right here. It's an underground laboratory entrance through a waterfall. So I was like, that sounds like the coolest thing ever. I would love to do something like that. So I just, took that description as inspiration, and it actually doing something from text as your point of inspiration is a really cool challenge. And that's what I'll be doing today. Is I'll be doing another excerpt from the same book, Hard Boiled Wonderland and the End of the World by Haruki Murakami, my all-time favorite author. And basically creating that for you guys today. I'll go ahead and read the little excerpt as soon as I get through a couple more announcements. So, welcome everybody to the stream. We're doing it. A lot of you guys are asking for the Beeple Challenge. We did it last week. I provided you guys with a bunch of models, and we all took 2 hours to challenge ourselves to make a really cool render with a bunch of models. And I have heard you guys. We will do this at least once a month, maybe once every 3 weeks. I'm not sure. We'll figure out the right timing for it. I don't want to do it every week, obviously, because there's a lot of different stuff I'd like to explore. But yeah, we'll do it again for sure. And I think this is a good moment to introduce and announce a new little weekly challenge that one of the mods on the Discord server came up with. And I'll show you guys that real quick. So, let us see here. Boom, we got the Discord server. It's super fresh, super fancy. And we got a couple mods that we added. We got Dierenwinkel, Neuropathy, Polygon, and Sotomonte. Really, just shout out to all you guys for spending your time helping the server out. We've reached 500 members at this point. That's awesome. I never expected that to be a thing. So, super cool. Yeah, we're just going to keep this thing going, keep this thing live. Keep it active. And I want to announce a 1 hour challenge. Basically, you guys, it's on the honor system here. You have 1 hour to render, whatever we decide. It'll be a challenge that I'll issue out basically in the next 2 or 3 minutes here. And you're going to post it here underneath streams. There's the 1 hour challenge submissions. It's locked right now. I'm going to make it live. Let's see here. Let's make this bad boy live. I'm learning Discord here. I'm learning. I'm new to the old Discord. So hopefully that's live now. And everyone can post their 1 hour challenge submissions. It is on the honor system, so it's on you guys. Just take an hour, post it in there. Now, next stream, next Saturday, I am going to announce like the top 5 highest voted images. So, basically, your due date is Saturday morning at 7 p.m. I'm sorry, Saturday morning at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That way I can, wake up, look at these things, and then announce the weekly winners right here live on the stream. We'll critique them. We'll go through all that. And we already got Kevin first, Carbon second, Knowles third. Y'all are in there right now. That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, and the server itself is getting a nice little overhaul. We have the different roles on the right, organized in a nice way. We got modelers. We got VFX artists in the house. We got programmers, animators, motion designers, all that good stuff. So, yeah, shout outs to the new mods. We got Dierenwinkel, we got Neuropathy, and we got Polygon. Sotomonte has been here since the beginning. We'll probably need some more mods a little later, so stay tuned for all that good stuff. And Christian, thanks for the super chat, buddy. I got you on that kombucha, dude. That cayennade. Appreciate you, man. But let's read some of y'all's comments. Let's read some of y'all's comments here. Hey, Clint. Saqib asks, do you render separate shadow passes in C4D with Octane? Yeah, most of the time I do. I'll render a separate shadow pass when I'm comping stuff in After Effects. Like for the Boss Town Dynamics video, I believe that was the case. We rendered separate shadow passes. Marthel Arts asks, but 1 hour is like, okay, you have already all the models and just do the competition. How to model something, texture something, render it in an hour. Maybe 2 would be better. We can, maybe 2 would be better. We can feel it out. What else are you guys saying? I don't understand. So yeah, in terms of like, you can get all your assets ready, right? But once you start, you have an hour to do the challenge. And the challenge, thanks for reminding me, the challenge is, here's the weekly challenge. Y'all need to take 1 hour to render a book. That's it. It could be a book on a table, floating in the sky. It could be a book, whatever. It could be old, it could be new. Whatever you guys can do in 1 hour, you need to render a book. And even if I know like Melanie is an artist and she likes drawing stuff because she doesn't have any of these 3D programs. She might draw something. But I want you guys to create a book in 1 hour and post it on the Discord server under the 1 hour challenge submission channel. And I'll go through the top 5 highest voted submissions on the stream next week. All right, the deadline is Saturday morning, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so I have time to look over everything, right? Look over all the submissions. And no, the challenge is not for only Cinema 4D users. It's for Blender, it's for Maya, it's for literally anything. I just need you guys to create a book. That's it. That is the challenge, a book. The weekly challenge, and we'll do this every week. I think it's a fun way to shout you guys out and feature all of you awesome guys in this thing, in this live stream. Where are we? So what is the theme for today, guys? For those of you just joining, we're talking about getting out of writer's block. We're talking about breaking through any creative block and how to render something awesome, how to draw something awesome, how to write something awesome without getting stuck. A lot of people ask, oh, what do I do? I never know what to do. So one of the ways I get through this, and we'll talk about all the different ways, or a number of different ways that I've used in the past. But what we're going to do today is go through one of my very favorite books here. I already have like a paragraph picked out. And we're going to render the paragraph. We're going to render this description that my favorite author, Haruki Murakami, wrote. And we're going to visualize it and see, what that would look like if we created a scene from, just this text here. So that's another challenge to you guys. If you love reading and if you have a visual mind, then when you're reading, maybe just take note of the page, maybe of the paragraph, of some cool description that your author wrote down, and try and create that, try and draw that, because there's definitely, positives to, taking a picture or pulling up a picture online and trying to copy that picture. That's literally what I did. I mean, I still do that. When I drew, I would look at something awesome and I would draw that. I'd draw a picture, or I would draw an artist's drawing. Or you take a look at someone's render, like, oh, that's cool. I'd like to, render what this person rendered and see if I can't learn a thing or two during that process. Like, that's certainly a way to do it. I'm just taking it one step further, right? And we're starting not from an image, but from a text description. So So yeah, that's why I figured the weekly challenge this week will be a book. All you have to do is render a book. Any program you want, deliver it by Saturday morning, next Saturday morning. I'll talk about it on the next live stream. Milan, hello from Croatia. I hope you are doing well. I hope you are healthy. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate you. Appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much. Anything else? Any last announcements, guys? We've been doing this for a while. Yes, I believe there's one last announcement. For this weekend only, I am running a 25% off sale on all my prints in the print shop. So this is this weekend only, Saturday and Sunday. I got these things down 25% for you guys. Feel free to go through noisegrainandlight.com. The address is in the description of this live stream right now. But yeah, go through here. Take a look at any of these guys. I figured that while everyone's at home, might as well get some cool art to hang on the walls while you guys are in quarantine. I hope everyone is staying healthy. But yeah, I figured I'd do that for you guys. 25% off all the prints in the print store on noisegrainandlight.com/shop. All right, guys. Let's get to it. Any final questions before we begin? And I'm going to read the paragraph from Haruki Murakami himself here, my favorite author of all time. And we're going to render what we read. That is the challenge for today's live stream. All right. Can the render be of someone reading a book? Well, if you can do it in an hour, sure. But the challenge here is just a book. That's it. That's all we need to do for the weekly challenge is render a book. And hopefully this isn't too confusing for you guys. I'm kind of announcing a lot of new stuff right now. A weekly challenge and then, the stream as well today. So, leave any questions in the comments down below. Just at me down here so I can see if you have a direct question. Vitor has a real question. He just started with VFX. How long did it take to get confident with your own work? How long did it take to get confident with my own work? Well, since Cinema 4D was the newest thing that I've started, I'd say it took me about 6 months to get confident with my own work in Cinema 4D. It was 6 months of constant watching tutorials and doing those tutorials and implementing those tutorials in my own way. I'd copy the tutorial, but then I'd also apply it in a new way for an effect I was trying to achieve. It takes time, and you just have to dedicate the time to get better, and you will certainly get better. Okay, let's begin here, guys. Let's read the little excerpt on what we are going to create. All right, so this is from Haruki Murakami's book, Hard-Boiled Wonderland and the End of the World. It's an incredible book. It's fiction. I highly recommend you guys pick up his work. It's so good. It is so good. So I'll just read this little excerpt here for you guys, and then we will get rendering. Okay. The gatekeeper retrieves a ring of keys from the wall and puts them in his pocket. He yawns as he laces up his leather boots. They look heavy and sturdy, with iron cleats for walking in snow. My shadow lives between the town and the outside. And just as a quick note here, the main character was separated from his shadow, so he does not have a shadow anymore. His shadow is a separate being, and he's going to meet his shadow. My shadow lives between the town and the outside. As I cannot leave to go to the world beyond the wall, my shadow cannot come into town. So the one place we can meet is the shadow grounds, close behind the gatehouse. It is small and fenced in. So I'm circling all these descriptive little chunks here. It's small and fenced in. Okay, take note of that. The gatekeeper takes the keys out of his pocket and opens the iron gate to the enclosure. We enter the shadow grounds. It is a perfect square. One side backed up almost against the wall. In the center is an old elm tree, underneath which is a bench. The tree is blanched with age. I do not know if it is alive or dead. Lots of good descriptive stuff here. Murakami is so good at that. In a corner stands a lean-to of bricks and building scraps. No glass in the window, only a rude wooden panel that swung up for a door. I see no chimney, so there must be no heat. That's where your shadow sleeps, says the gatekeeper. Not as bad as it looks. Even got water and a toilet. Not quite a hotel, but it is a shelter. Care to go in? No, I'll meet him here, I say, still dizzy from the stale air in the gatehouse. Cold or not, it's better to be out in the fresh air. Fine by me. Let me bring him outside. So the gatekeeper storms in to the lean-to by himself. I turn up my collar and sit down on the bench, scraping at the ground with the heel of my shoe. The ground is hard, with lingering patches of snow where shaded by the wall. Another really good clue as to what we're going to be rendering. Presently, the gatekeeper emerges and strides across the grounds, my shadow following slowly after. My shadow is not the picture of health the gatekeeper had led me to believe. His face is haggard, all eyes and beard. I imagine you two want to be alone. Probably got heaps to talk about. Well, have yourself a nice long talk, but not too long, if you know what I mean. I know what he means. My shadow and I watch the gatekeeper lock the enclosure gate and withdraw to the gatehouse. So it goes on. There's a bit more description in here. I'm not going to read the whole chapter. But yeah, basically we have ourselves a little square shadow ground here with a structure, a slummy kind of structure in the corner. There is a giant elm tree that's kind of alive, kind of dead in the middle. There's a bench, and you have a character talking to his shadow on this bench. The ground is frozen. It's during winter. There's snow where the shadows are, and everywhere where there's not shadow, the ground is frozen solid. Anything else? There's a giant wall behind them, keeping them in the town. It goes on to describe what they're wearing, and we'll set the scene first. We'll get the lighting down, and then we'll add the characters last. So that's what we're doing, is we're rendering that scene. All right. Let's get some of this yogurt, and let's begin. Has anyone read this book by chance? Or does anyone know who Haruki Murakami is? All right. Kua. Yes, I did. Thanks to you, I have Megascan's bridge going, and we're going to be using that today. So, much appreciated. All right. So, this was just for a thumbnail. I was trying to make a thumbnail on how to get out of writer's block. One thing that really helped me get out of my writer's block was I would judge everything before I got it down on paper. I'd come up with an idea. I'd be like, nope, that sucks. Going to be too much money. Not going to be possible. I'd come up with a million reasons as why not to write what I was coming up with. And that was the main one for me, is like, once I got past that, like, I just need to write just to write. Then it got a lot easier. I started to actually put stuff down on paper and get excited about stuff. I didn't care if it was going to cost too much money to make. I just needed to become a better writer. Same for modeling and texturing and everything. Like, you just need to put the practice in, get excited about the stuff. Like, you don't have to post everything. You can create just to create and have fun. So, okay. Let's get the scene going. I always make a little figure for scale at first, right? Let's drop a plane in. Let's see, I imagined it somewhere along this size. So maybe there's like an iron gate around this thing, and behind it is a large wall. So I'm just going to start moving these planes around and get things in place. And then we'll come back in and start giving things more detail. Let's add a floor. Or we'll just make it another plane. And then we got like a wall back here. This will just kind of be a greenish brown color for now. There's probably some pillars in the corner here of the plane. There's a lean-to described in the book in the corner here. For some reason, I always imagined it in this corner back here. So if you were a person, how big would this thing be? Maybe that big for the entrance. It'd be maybe that tall. And something like that. So that's in the corner back here. In the middle is an elm tree, so I'm going to use Forester for that. So I'm using the book here as inspiration. I'm using its description to just block the scene out. Let's see here. Let's see, the tree library. Does it have an elm tree? Lucky for us, it is in alphabetical order. And it does not have an elm tree. What does an elm tree even look like? Let's Google elm tree. All right. Elm tree. So we'll find something similar to that. An oak tree actually might be the closest thing. Or, ooh, a cork tree. Looks pretty sweet. Let's go with the cork tree for now. That thing is huge. Maybe that's just... it's just what it is. Let's keep going here. There's a bench, right? So they're sitting on a bench underneath this tree. So I'm imagining the camera angle is going to be something like this. So let's get a little bench in there, a placeholder for a bench. Bench is probably that long. Sure. Something like that. And we'll get this going like this. And that's our bench. Something like that. And let's see, the Shadow Grounds is sorry, it's the almonds again, guys. The Shadow Grounds is surrounded by a gate, and then you have a giant wall back here, which is probably a little bit bigger. No one's gonna scale that thing. It'll just be like some really intense bricks. And yes, let's save our scene. Goodness, let's save our scene. Episode 10. Okay. So we know the ground is kind of frosty and cold. We know that the sun is probably shining from back here because they said in the book that there was snow in the areas where the wall caused a shadow or cast a shadow. So it's probably something like this, some sort of backlit scene like this. Cool. Very nice, very nice. All right. How's everybody doing here? Everyone following along fine? What kind of books do I read the most? I love self-help books, books where I can learn. Let's see. What do I have over here? I got lots of Haruki Murakami books, lots of art books, photography books, books on story, books on dialogue, lots of like filmmaking books and stuff, cinematography. I got some nonfiction like stories. Unbroken was a good one. I mean, there's a whole lot of crazy true stories out there. But in terms of fiction, Haruki Murakami is certainly my favorite. I really like Michael Crichton as well. He's great. All right. So people asking, what's the topic? What's going on? We are rendering an excerpt described in Haruki Murakami's Hard-Boiled Wonderland and the End of the World. And we're using this as a means of inspiration to get out of any sort of creative block or writer's block. That's just one of the things you can do, is render something from a book. Render something from a text description. Certainly you can, copy any sort of art. You see someone's art online and you say, oh, as practice, I'm going to try rendering this, or I'm going to try drawing this. Obviously, don't plagiarize stuff. But if you're using it as a means of practice, or maybe it's an image you took while you were on a walk or something, or, you saw something cool, take a picture of it and try and render that, There's a million different ways that you can challenge yourself to render a whole bunch of different stuff. All right. Let's do it here. Okay, so the lean-to, that's gonna be a thing. We're gonna need to get that going. But let's just like block in the shadow grounds here with an iron gate and some pillars, perhaps. So I'm gonna go over to Quixel Bridge here, and it's a really easy way to get these models into my scene. And like, this is something that I've had to do for a long time. So Kua, thanks for finally pushing me to get this thing going and set up. So we need like column or pillar. So let's just search that. Oh man, this is so cool. Look at this. I really, really like that. So we're only going to see 2 of them, I think. Decisions. Chapel pillar is pretty sweet. But there's only 1 of them. And but I do like the overgrown kind of feeling it has, so let's do it. Let's download this thing. We need a gate as well, like an iron gate. I don't know if they have any gates on here. Nope, not really. So we might need to grab something from Turbo Squid or something. See if they have any gates. 3D assets. Where would a gate be under? I love this website so much. Let's see. Ooh, this could be cool for the lean-to, maybe. A gate. Some sort of gate. And this is all good stuff. Oh yeah, you guys recognize this from the first render I did based off of the Haruki Murakami little excerpts here. It was like the hands with the gloves reaching in for the skull. I just cut the little horns off. Having an issue now with HDRIs being blurry. Riker. Yeah, you'll get that. Certainly. If they're not like 12K HDRIs, they're going to be a bit blurry. So I'll just show you real quick. Basically, you have an octane sky. Let's load in. Actually, let's mix the sky texture. So when you have a sun and an HDRI, you just have to click the mix sky texture box there. And you'll notice that my HDRIs are blurry as well. You know, they're not super high res because they're not really meant to be backgrounds. They're kind of just meant to light your scene. However, if I choose one of the Grayscale Gorilla Ultimate Skies 12K HDRIs, those ones will actually be pretty high res because they're 12K. You know, you could probably use that as a background. But normally HDRIs, unless they're pretty high res, they're going to look a little blurry. Oh, 16K HDRIs and still blurry in Unreal. So I can't speak to Unreal, though that is a program I really, really want to start learning and streaming is Unreal. Because you could make a scene like this and just have it be real time, you know? Okay, but let's keep going. Let's grab an HDRI here, like some sort of overcast HDRI. Oh, this is nice. All right. So we need to still find some pillars here and a gate. We also want a huge wall. So maybe for the wall, that's just going to be like a normal texture and not a 3D asset. But let's see what they have when it comes to walls here on Megascans. Not much. Let's try rock and see if there's anything under rock that could be used as a wall. It needs to be pretty big. No. Let's try cliff. So this might not be bad, but you could definitely climb all this stuff. If you were a really good rock climber, you know, there'd be no problem keeping you down. This might work, actually. Volcanic Dolerite Cliff. We can start with this and see where it takes us. The scale is pretty massive. Yeah, let's start with this and see where it goes. All right. Let's start downloading these things. Let's get these things in Cinema 4D, and y'all guys will see how fast it can be. So basically, all you have to do is export it, and it should just pop up in the scene here. And there it is. There is our pillar. Looking nice. And we'll go in and just make sure everything's kind of set up. It looks like we need a couple more also, it's not an octane material for some reason. Let's try this one more time. I had this working yesterday. Well, maybe we'll just have to link this up real quick. Gonna convert this to an octane material. And Megascans, you can't download them for free, though they do have free. They have about 50 free things to download. Under the little free tab, there's 55 things. All this stuff is free. You guys can download all these assets and all these 3D models for free. And maybe that's what we'll do for the next Beeple challenge, is we'll just use free models from Megascans and make something cool. But yeah, let me just get this guy linked up real quick. So let's see, we want specular, we want bump, we want normal. Cool, that's looking a little bit better. And we'll just get this guy in the corners here of our shadow grounds. No! Render region, get out of here. How do I... What'd I do? What on earth? Oh god, what have I done? Interactive render region. Okay, yeah, that's what I don't want. So we'll scale this thing up. and get this thing lined up just right. I'm hitting S to snap the viewport to the current object I have selected. Something like that. And we need to get an iron gate around this thing, but that's just going to be a lot of looking at stuff on TurboSquid. So what we'll do is, let's see if they have a bench. Let's see if they have a bench. They do. It's a very modest bench. Sure, let's do it. All right, so we're downloading a bench. Let's get the ground looking nice. So they said in the book it's kind of frosty, frozen and dry. And there's areas wherever there's shadow, basically you have snow. So we need to get our lighting set. I think we'll probably do the snow bit a little later, but let's get the overall look of the ground down first. And I'll be using RD textures for the ground because they have the highest quality photo scanned textures that I'd ever seen. So I'll be using that in a second, but I'm gonna get a little bit of yogurt, almonds, and banana. How's everybody doing? You guys good? Following along? Hopefully this isn't too boring for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy the process, or maybe you guys are working on something yourself. Douglas the shrimp? Douglas the shrimp. Douglas. What am I making? So I'm rendering a scene described in this book here, Hard-Boiled Wonderland and the End of the World by Haruki Murakami. And it's a way for me to get out of a creative block. If I'm reading something and I'm seeing an image in my head, I'll be like, you know what? I'll just create that. So it's a great way for me personally to get creative and come up with some new ideas. So that's what we're doing. All right, what do we say we're going to do? The ground. Yes, the ground with RD textures, the best textures in the whole world. All right, let's see. I'm just going to search snow and see what they got. Yeah, like look at these textures, guys. These things are legit. Like, this is kind of close to what we're going for. It might be just a little too much snow. But good thing they got snow 2 and they got snow 3. All right, this one's a bit much, right? This one's a bit much. Maybe for the areas where there's shadow. Maybe. What is snow 2 looking like? Very similar to snow 3. Man, just beautiful. Just beautiful. Dude, a book club stream? Oh, man, that's great. All right, guys, we're going to do snow 1 because we don't have all the time in the world, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to make a new glossy material, drop it on the plane here. Let's go into the node editor. And let's just start dropping some freaking textures, you know what I'm saying? We got ambient occlusion. We got bump color. We have a depth. We got high gloss or just gloss. Let's just go gloss, normal, and roughness, of course. We're going to drag all these guys in. Ooh, am I going to use vertex painting with the shadow and snow? Perhaps. Perhaps. That might be the best way to go about it. Let's start dragging and dropping these textures here. Make sure to save your scene, guys. And let's zoom in here and see what's happening with the texture. I'm going to turn let's see. Let's turn down the exposure. Well, we'll turn off our sun. That way you can guys can get an idea of what's happening down here. So we got our normal map plugged in. Let's get our roughness plugged in. We got our gloss plugged in, which is basically specular. We got a displacement map. So let's drop this displacement node in here, and we'll drop this displacement map in. We'll up this to 4K resolution. Set the mid-level to 0.5. And the height will go like 50. Is that doing anything? It should be. It should be. But we'll see in a second here once we start plugging all this good stuff in here. And let's finally... We got the bump map. And we have color. And we also have ambient occlusion. And basically the way you set up ambient occlusion, you see how this is just a black and white image. If you were in After Effects, you'd put this layer above your color layer, and you would set this to multiply. And that gets rid of all the white and keeps the dark parts. So in this case, we're going to use a multiply node and pipe that into texture 1, pipe the color into texture 2, and then the multiply will go into the final diffusion pass. And the way you control this is basically by shifting the gamma up and down. So if you look at the ground here, let's find a spot that isn't covered with the tree shadow. Uh-oh. Okay, we're alive. So if we zoom in to this ground here, let's actually get the scale right first. So we have basically like this dirt patch over here. I think it just needs to come down by half. So let's grab the material here. Instead of UV mapping, we'll just go to, I think, oh, flat does not work. We'll try frontal. No. Cubic. Yeah, cubic is good. You can see it tiling over and over and over. So let's just up the tiles here. So instead of 1, what if we do 0.1, I think? 0.1? Yeah. And now you can see, if we get rid of the tree, you can see it tiling a little bit. But it's actually not bad. And is the size right? We will answer that question by taking a look at some of these sticks in the snow. That feels pretty good to me. You know, and alternatively, we can also double up our texture here and like make another texture that is the snow, or that is just like mud or dirt or something, and then use a noise map to basically say whatever's black be texture number 1, whatever is white be just the dirt. But I'm just gonna keep moving on here and roughing out the scene. All right. Dude, yes. Vzul just set up Discord so we could take part in this 1-hour book challenge. So thanks for doing that, man. Thanks for joining the server. It's a really, really cool place to communicate with other community members here and stay active and stay creative. We got 500 members actually, which is super freaking cool. 500 members. I never thought that would be a thing. I had no expectations for that, so you guys are really turning this thing around, making it super cool. So let's keep going here. Let's get in close and see what we are looking at. So we have like frost on the ground. This is awesome. You can see that the depth map is actually doing something. It's puffing up the topology here, topography. And it's tiling quite a bit, but from a low angle, you may not be able to tell. Yeah. And if we do high gloss, let's go into our material here. Right. And I'm going to right click auto arrange so it kind of arranges things nicely. I'll just kind of move these around a little bit. So here's a quick time saving, memory saving tip here. Basically anything that's black and white, any map that is black and white, select all those. I'm just holding down shift. And basically if you change them from normal, the type here, if you change it from normal to float, it's going to just recognize them as black and white and not color. And since they're black and white anyway, let's see if I can show you guys an example of what I'm talking about. So it says down here, it says used free total VRAM 2.83 gigs. But if I set this to float, that number should go down. Yep, 2.69 gigs. So that's a good way to save on your scene because very quickly we're going to kind of max that out. And I'll do the same for the that pillar we have as well. So from 2.69 down to, should change here, 2.3. Awesome. Awesome. Let's real quick take the plane and up the segments here 100 by 100, and that's going to allow the displacement map to really shine and have a lot more detail. Let's try 200. Awesome. All right. Blueberry, welcome. We're talking about ways to get out of writer's block, out of creative block. And one of the ways that I've done it in the past is to render something based off of text that you read. So I love reading. I'm a big reader. Haruki Murakami is my favorite author of all time. He's got a book called Hard-Boiled Wonderland and the End of the World. And in this book, he describes an area where the main character visits his shadow because he was separated from his shadow. And his shadow is kept in the shadow grounds. And that's what we're rendering right now based off of the descriptive text in one of the chapters of this book. So, yeah, he's a great writer. My favorite of all time. I think I've said that 30 times on the stream. And, he really knows how to write. I mean, he's incredible. Very descriptive, very imaginative. So we got a scene here. Let me grab this bench. And that's how easy bridge is. Quixel bridge, the best. Hey, welcome, Spencer. I am very glad that you can join this as well. I'm glad you finally made it. Welcome. We're just chilling right now, making a cool scene from a book. All right, so we got our bench. Let's bring this guy around. And, I might switch the bench out a little later for... I'm imagining a different bench in my head, but you know, I might tweak this thing after the stream a little bit. But this will at least get you guys an idea of, you know, how I create something from scratch. So we'll get rid of that chair because we have our bench here. Boom, in the scene. And the snow is not as reflective and bright as I want it to be. So maybe let's just go to the camera settings here, the Octane camera tag. And let's go to camera imager, and we'll take our highlight compression. By default it's at 0, but I cranked it up. So let's go back to 0. Let's go into the snowy texture, and I'm going to switch out the specular map here. Let's invert that and see if it does anything. I'm just going to switch it out for the high gloss version, because RD textures, they come with different versions of their materials here. So let's use the high gloss. Boom. And then I'm going to just up the, let's see, the color diffuse here. I'm going to drop the 8K version into there. So it's nice and detailed. And since I dropped that new specular in there, oh, yep, it still stayed on float, which is exactly what we want. Okay. Ralph Max Savage, welcome. My brother, welcome to the stream. No burpees today. We'll save that for the live streams. Or not, they're all live streams. We'll save that for the render challenges. Ben, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying the streams, man. These are super chill. I feel like I'm not, you know, working at Corridor. Everything is very high energy, super loud, really intense, really fast. When I'm on camera, at least, you know. So this is the more chill version of that right now. All right. And yes, Duon, Haruki Murakami is a Japanese writer. And I too wonder how much gets lost in translation. I wonder the same thing. And Cole, no, I didn't get to mess with Radical yet. I tried the Maxon Moves one, Moves by Maxon. I tried that one once. It kind of worked. But no, I have yet to check out the other AI motion tracking software. It's cool that it's for the phone, though. All right. Let's keep going. Let's build out this lean-to. So I'm going to go back to the book here and see how he describes this thing again. He says, backed, let's see, no, in a corner stands a lean-to of bricks and building scraps. No glass in the window, only a rude wooden panel that swings up for a door. I see no chimney, so there must be no heat. All right, first we Google a lean-to. I'm pretty sure a lean-to is... Okay. A brick lean-to. Okay, yeah, this makes sense. So something like this here. Okay. So let's see what the old Megascan's got for us. Under 3D assets, brick. So they have these like panels and stuff, which are cool. They have individual bricks, which is going to be a little intense for us. It's going to be a lot of stuff there. So we're not going to build it brick by brick, but we will build it wall by wall. And we just want to find the right wall. Oh, what happened? These corner pieces aren't bad. All right. So I'm definitely imagining it somewhere kind of looking like this here, this medieval style. Hmm. Antique. Let's try other real quick. You know, this isn't bad right here. Like these little walls and stuff. But it's not brick. That's the thing. Here we go. Okay, this actually is not bad. This little setup right here. I think I'm probably going to go with that. Yeah, let's do it. All right. So we got a wall, we got a corner. Let's just get all of these and see what we can do. And then we're going to kind of have to like chop it to make it a lean-to. And then we need a roof. So let's just type in roof and see what we get. They have 3D roof tiles. That is awesome. I don't think we need to do it tile by tile, but I think a texture like this will work. I wish they had like hay or something. That'd be pretty sweet. Oh, this is actually This is it. Thatched roof. But I kind of want something with a bit more texture to it. Like this one's pretty sweet. I like that. Ooh, wooden log wall. That's not bad. That's not bad at all, but I don't think we're gonna get the tips, you know? Like you're gonna miss out on those tips. I'll just go with the weathered roof for now. And let's get all these guys in cinema and we'll build this thing out. All right. All right, we got everything exported. It's loading in. Man, I should get some ambient music on. I've had these headphones on all day, but with no ambient music. Let's change that right now. And if you guys need some cool ambient music, I got an ambient for VFX and editing playlist in the description of this live stream right now. So head on over. It's like my favorite ambient tracks. Super good for focusing and rendering, also good for sleeping. So whatever you guys want to do. Okay. Let's pause the old renderer there and see what we're working with here. We have our roof. We have our front door. Is that the only thing that exported? What about our sidewall? We need our sidewall, guys. Oh, it's still... I think it's still thinking. Okay. Let's rename some of our stuff. We have a pillar. We got our bench. We have our front door. We have our roof. All right, so let's just piece this thing together real quick. So we can make this door a little bit bigger. Yeah, that's good. And our roof. We'll bring in. Awesome. All right. Dude, freaking ads, freaking spastic with the ads. That's hilarious. Christian, hey, glad you've been liking the playlist, man. It's one of my favorites. Definitely a good one. All right. For some reason I feel like yeah, we need our wall, our modular wall. Let's export that. And I'm going to add like an extra little back section. The textures I'm getting from Quixel Mega Scans. I'm using Quixel Bridge to transfer them over to C4D quickly. Where's that corner piece? Where are you at? Assembly. Where the heck did it go? 3D assets. Was this called wall? Is that what I... There was like a brick. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, this stuff right here. Boom. Medieval corner. So let's get this guy over here. And we just need to fill in like this little section here. So how are we going to do that? Let's think about this. Maybe grabbing the roof piece, like this piece right here, we can just cut that in half. Let's try it. Let's try it. So, are you guys watching the stream, or are you working on something while you're listening to the stream? Leave a little comment. Let me know. So, along with the structure here, I believe they said there was building materials or something next to the building. Building scraps. Yeah, building scraps. Good thing Megascans has lots of building scratch. Work and work. Yes, I'm from Corridor. I work at Corridor. I love it. It's very fun. I get to work with my friends every day. It's great. All right, we got working while watching, working on school 3D stuff, watching. I'm rendering, playing some World of Warcraft and watching. Mikhail, very nice. Working. Everyone's working. That's great. That's great. Working, watching, and listening. You guys are awesome. Let's keep it up. So maybe we'll just like scrunch this thing down. Yeah, that may not work. That may not work. It doesn't look that good. I wonder if we can just like move this up and then use Boolean to chop it. I think I might do that. So I'm going to connect these objects together, and then I'm going to select the roof, hold down Control and spawn a cube on the roof. That way I can kind of just slide this thing up. Exactly in line with the angle of the roof, so I can chop the tops of these walls off with a little Boolean action. So basically, let's see, this is our A, and we have our cube is our B. And if you select A and hold Alt, you can come over here to this little instance icon here and let go on bool. And then you drop your B in, and it's A minus B. That's the way a bool works. So you have your A, which is our wall, and you're using the cube to cut the wall right at that exact point. So it's A minus B. And that's our little lean-to. And honestly, if we, let's see. If we make this cube editable and we we should be able to get the anchor point down just into the corner. There you go. And slide it up just a little bit. Basically, you can kind of adjust the angle of the roof together with that cube. So if we want the roof to be more at an angle, say like that, we can take the cube and rotate the same deal. Boom. And we have our little lean-to. And we should be able, I'm going to convert our materials to octane materials. It's going to think down here. If you're ever wondering, is Premiere frozen? Or I'm sorry, not Premiere. Is C4D frozen? Just look down here in the bottom left. And you can see it thinking. It's material convert started. ... So we'll let it do its thing real quick. P Ghost, welcome back. We are making an image based off of Haruki Murakami's novel Hard-Boiled Wonderland and the End of the World. This is one of my favorite books of all time, and we're basically using one of the paragraphs that described the scene we're making right here. We're using that paragraph as inspiration to create this scene right here, and that's one of the ways that I can get out of a creative block or writer's block, especially when it comes to rendering, is making something based off of text. Because I'm seeing a lot of things when I'm reading this book, because he says he's a very descriptive writer. So I figure, hey, why not try and create something based off of the text that is causing me to see something really cool in my head? We'll just make it here in C4D. So that's one of the ways that I can get out of a creative block, is by using fiction or books as inspiration. Oh, and you guys can't see the bottom left. There you go. It's thinking. Okay, so I believe it had converted the images, or it should have converted the images. Let me check something real quick. Oh, is that why it's not coming in as octane materials? Is because I have my renderer set to standard? Man, if that's the case, you just blew my mind. Knowles, yes. Yes. It makes me happy. And then materials, remove unused materials so you can clean things up a little bit. All right. Let's continue. See what the render looks like. Which collections of arty textures do I have? I have all of them. All of them. Most of them. I know he's come out with some new stuff recently, which I gotta get, but yeah, they're the best. They are the best. The book is Hard-boiled wonderland in the end of the world. Yes, the same scene can be created in Blender. You can use any program you guys want to create the same scene. Any program you desire. Oh, I may have crashed it here. Octane is thinking, and I'm trying to push it to do more stuff. Yes, I am very much into video games. Currently, probably the most played game for me right now is Smash Bros. I play a lot of Smash Bros. With the guys at the office. And what else? I love Mario Kart. That is my jam. Rocket League. Love me some Rocket League. I am still getting through Death Stranding. Which, oh man, what a great game. What a fantastic game. So beautiful. Pep Plays A. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for being here. Thanks for checking out the stream. Okay. So we can pause our renderer. We know that that's working. I think we can move on to the wall. Let's get this back wall going. And I'm kind of just blocking everything in. I'll come back and I'll throw in more details if we have time, like some building materials around this thing, like some boards and some like wood blocks or something, you know. All right. So let's do this test. Let's see if switching my renderer to Octane is the fix I need. And I bet you guys are right. This cliff. Boom. Export. How long have I been doing VFX for? I've been doing VFX since YouTube came out, I think in like 2000. I think it was 1 year before YouTube, so 2007 or 2006. I'm not really sure. I started in Windows Movie Maker, adding muzzle flashes in Macromedia Fireworks, which is no longer a thing anymore. It's basically just Photoshop, you know. And then I discovered videocopilot.net, and it was, you know, basically over from there because it's the greatest website for After Effects tutorials. There's some really, really, really good ones out now. But man, was Video Copilot like the greatest for such a long time too. What an incredible website. What an incredible dude, Andrew Kramer. I think Andrew Kramer, if it wasn't for him, none of us would be here. All right, and you guys notice I don't need to do these back windows or the back walls here because we're only viewing it from this side. All right, so let's just organize this. We have our building. I'm going to drop all the building materials into that. We have our wall. Stuff like our camera, our Octane sky, we can group that into a folder called scene. We have our ground. And we still need to build our wall here. go back into our camera view. We can kind of set the scene a little bit more let's get our tree in here. I'll push this guy back a little bit. Because I don't want them to be in the foreground. I want them to be in the midground. And the angle, I kind of want to take more of a distant approach with it. So I'm going to go to a 24. And let's scale the ground up a little bit. And if we were crouching down, if we were the cameraman, crouched down, it'd be something probably here. All right. Let's render this and see what it looks like. You guys doing all right? Everyone doing okay? Let's get some leaves on this tree. Why do I have two After Effects tabs in my play bar? It's because basically one is the most updated, the other is 2014 After Effects, which is the only After Effects which supports a plugin called Real Steady, and it's a camera stabilization plugin. That is why I have two copies of After Effects. So I'm not really digging the wall right now. And I wonder if the lighting can be a bit better. I'm going to rotate this tree around until we get a nice little like spot of light on the bench. Yeah, maybe something like that. Yeah, the wall, not really a fan of the wall right now. And there's not really, it's difficult to see the difference between the tree and the wall, the building and the wall. It needs a bit of depth. So it could be our lighting. You know, we really want to see the tree. We want to silhouette the tree a little bit. Maybe the wall can be a brighter color. I think we need to add snow to basically the roof and everything. And blanket the scene in some snow. Because our characters are going to be sitting on this bench. And we're going to want to spotlight our characters a bit. I think there was a scene in like... Was there a scene in, what is that? What was that Wes Anderson movie? The hotel movie. Grand Budapest Hotel. There was a scene in like the courtyard that kind of reminded me of the scene that I'm thinking of right now. I don't know if I'm going to find it. Was it a cemetery or was it a park? I've only seen the movie once. Ah, this was it. Yeah, this was it. This is totally the vibe. Yeah, this is what I'm imagining. You see how, like, the people are clearly silhouetted, you know, based on what they're wearing here. The wall is dark, which silhouettes the headstones. And she's wearing the brightest color. Obviously, the ground is white from the snow. So maybe we will kind of go with an overcast feeling on this one. We'll center our subject up, and in the sun tab here, the turbidity is what controls the overcast feeling of the sun. So if you notice down here, you can see these the shadows are pretty clearly defined, but if I set the turbidity to like a 4, it's gonna even that out a bit. And if we go 6, it'll even get more intense. In the sun size, if we set that to 2, maybe 5. No, that doesn't do anything. We'll set that to 1, and the power will go 2, 3. I'm going to use this picture as kind of a reference. So it certainly needs to be brighter. But it could also be my HDRI image as well. So let's try and change out the HDRI image for something a little better. Man, this bucha, man. All right. We kind of just want to see sky in the background. Yeah, that wall is not looking good. And the tree itself, maybe we'll change from cork tree to oak tree. And we can come down with it. It's a little big. Or maybe, just maybe, for the sake of aesthetic here, we will go with Something that drapes a little bit. Maybe this one. I feel like we've used this one before, though. Oh, okay. Red oak. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Okay. So we still want to silhouette our subject, and this shot's doing a really good job of silhouetting these three guys right here. They're center framed. They're the darkest part of the image. So maybe that's what needs to happen here. Is there also a little bit of haze? Maybe a little bit of fog going on in here? And yeah, I could actually add a color correction node to the tree, diffuse, and maybe just get the brightness up. That's not bad. The rock wall is just one asset, but I am not liking it. And they describe the wall in the book made up of different stones. And I thought this would work for that, but it's not feeling right to me. I wish you could search by... Oh, you can. You can search by size. That's great. What is the biggest 3D asset they have? Yeah, I mean, I pretty much hit it. So maybe what we need to do is check the RD textures here. And yes, I am reading chat. I'm glancing over here from time to time. It's difficult to do both, but I see you guys. I've been taking my vitamins every day, staying healthy. All right, so it's definitely a rock wall here, and I feel like it needs to feel right, certainly. And it could just be a combination of like a few of these or something, but you definitely don't want to be able to scale it. That's the thing. The wall is meant to keep people inside. Maybe a castle is what I'm going for. But these are all tiny. Yeah, it's basically just a wall like this, but a lot bigger. How big is this? Yeah, that's not big enough. Yeah, not big enough. It's like boulders, made up of boulders and stuff. I wonder if RD Textures has anything. Let's see. No, no, not that. So these are all like interior walls. No, it's like stone. That's not bad. That's not bad. It's more of a, that's like more of a brick. That's definitely interior. All right, let's check. Jamie says rock 15 and 8 are his go-to. Rock 15. Not bad. Not bad. Rock 8. Not bad. Okay. I wonder if there's more of like a bouldery kind of one. This one, 7 isn't bad. I think right now 7 is the one. That is cool though with the greenery on it. Oh man, that looks mean. Maybe 12 is the one. $12 and $13. All right, let's try mixing some of these together. We got 7 and we got 12. Okay. So I'll select the wall, hold control, and make a plane. Rotate it 90. Hide the wall. And stretch this out. All right. Yes, I am imagining a scene from a book, and it is The Hard-Boiled Wonderland and the End of the World by Haruki Murakami. This is where the main character goes to meet up with his shadow, because they were separated when they entered the town. Okay. So let's get this wall looking nice. I'm going all 8K on this because we're going to need as much detail as possible because we're scaling this thing up pretty large. And yes, I am certainly going for photorealism here. That's usually always my goal. And again, the diffuse is mixed with the ambient occlusion using a multiply node. And you just put both of those in there, apply the multiply node to the diffuse channel, and you control the ambient occlusion with the gamma of on the actual ambient occlusion layer. And you can see that our mapping is all off, so unfortunately Octane has an issue with its displacement maps and its mapping. So that's just super unfortunate. But we're going to load it in and just have to basically control it from the material window over here versus, you know, messing with the UV controls within Octane. And the displacement map, I always set the mid-level to 0.5, and I'll set it to 4K for now. Save the scene, of course. Let's select our material up here on our plane and set this to cubic. And it should even out for us. Anzar, welcome. Thanks for joining. All right, that's obviously way too small. So we'll get this tile going back up. And let's get... Let's get our displacement map working properly. So for this, we need geometry. We need subdivisions for displacement maps to work. So let's do, if you hit N followed by B on the keyboard, you will get basically this view here. You can go up to display and change your shading modes to, you know, see what's going on here with the geometry on your plane. Let's do 100 by, what is this, like 500. And we'll come in here and we'll adjust the displacement 10 centimeters. Let's try 50 centimeters. Let's try 150 centimeters. Still looks very plain. I think it's the top of this thing that's really throwing it for me. Definitely not happy with the feeling of this right now. And you can see how the shading makes it difficult to see your scene. So I'll switch back to a shading style that makes it a little easier. And you can also hide the sunlight from, let's see. No, we don't have sunlight. That is fine. All right, let's adjust the power of this HDRI here. Give it a little vignette. Let's see. Let's just try adding some fog, just a little bit. And I think the sunlight actually allows you to do that. If you go to medium, add fog, looks like it does it for you a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. Oh, y'all want to see some cats? Let's see if we can get some cats. Where's Gilbert? All right. It's cat time. I'll be right back. Y'all just caught this guy from a nap. This dude was napping super hard. This is Gilbert. He's like, I don't know, how old's Gilbert? Like 5 months or something? 5 or 6 months? Oh, hey Melanie. How you doing? Are you drawing today? Oh man, he smells good too. This little dude just like tears up my desk. Start walking over my keyboard, you know.
In the best way.
Gilbert, what do you have to say? Anything to add? No? He's chilling right now. And the other cat, Teddy's, went to the bedroom. Look at this little guy. Gills, what do you think about the scene, Gilbert?
He loves it.
That's Kim, everybody. Say hello. She says hello. Here, another cat is on his way. This is Teddy. He's a little bit bigger than Gilbert. just ow! Just got smacked.
He says,
Yeah?
hi, everybody.
They're looking outside. They're so curious.
He's ready to attack.
All right. Cody, good luck on your rendering adventures. Gilbert wishes you luck. All right, Gills, I'm going to get back to this. Thanks. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not really a fan of the scene right now. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes I'm just not feeling it. But I'm not done. That's the thing, is I'm not finished with the scene. So there's still work to be done on this thing. I think the wall doesn't feel like it fits. Maybe what we need to do is add some snow to this thing. So what we could do is, let's see here. We'll grab a dirt node. We'll drop that into the diffuse. And we'll crank the strength up to 10. And let's see, the
Hey, can I use your little gardening shovel? Yeah, go for it. Mine disappeared. I don't know where it went. Oh yeah, of course.
let's see here. So I just want to get the, oh, you know what? It's probably not a dirt node. It's probably a fall off node because I just want there to be snow on the parts that are facing the sky. So that would be normal versus 180, I think, or is it 90? Maybe it's 90. So if I were to do that to a sphere, you know, you throw a fall off node onto this guy. Then you should go, if you change it to 180, oh, it's going from the bottom. So stuff from the bottom is white. We want to flip that around. So these values need to switch. And the minimum value, let's see, the skew factor, basically something like that is what we want. And we can copy this fall off map and paste it into our scene here. And that should give us the desired effect of snow on the top of something. Yeah, so now you just like mix between the two. So for Octane, basically you have your diffuse map here, right? You want to mix it. You want to mix between this color and, say, a white snowy color. You could use material for that, but I don't think that's necessary for us right now. We'll grab an RGB spectrum node. And yeah, it's 0.9 all the way through, basically white. We want to mix that. So we'll grab a mix node. We want to mix texture 1, which is our original rock texture. And we want to mix it with this white RGB spectrum we made. And we'll use the fall off map as the amount. So basically anything that's white is snow. Anything that's black is the original rock. We'll paste that in. And then we'll drag our mix texture into the diffuse tab. And I believe it just did a thing. So let's go to the fall off minimum value. We'll set that to 0.5. I'm going to turn off the sun so it renders a bit quicker. And we'll get right up on this rock here. After it's done thinking, All right. I'm going to change this to like blue so we can actually see what's going on here. All right, so the fall off map, I want to adjust this a bit more. That's the original. That's with the snow. Skew factor, let's try 0.2. Huh. I wonder if you could just use the ambient occlusion. Yeah, that's not far off. That's funny. All right, let's go back to our camera view here. I feel like it needs, whoa, what's that cube? That roof cube. Okay, there it goes. So I'm not really feeling this this pillar back here, so I'm gonna actually get rid of that thing. I do want to kind of surround this place though. It's very, very, very similar to this kind of vibe right here. And agreed, the wall definitely looks too even on the top. So what are some ways we can fix that? Maybe if we just have, instead of it being on a plane, maybe it should just be on a cube with a fillet. So I'll hold control, I'll spawn a cube right here, drag it out. Push it back, delete the plane, and drag our new material onto the cube. Actually, before I delete the plane, I'll just drag the material from the plane to the cube because we have some settings. Remember, we changed some settings on that. And in the cube, I'll check the fillet, and that should be right. Now we should have a bit of displacement up top there. Let's render that and see what happens. Okay. That works, but something funky is happening with the displacement. Is it because we don't have enough geometry? Yep, that's why. So let's see, we'll do 10 for the subdivision on the fillet, and then we'll just start cranking this up. I think we had 500. And we want to give the top some subdivision, and I think we had 100 for that. But it's still tearing. Why is it still tearing? Huh. Maybe we just throw it onto a connect, and we put still tearing. Okay, weird. Maybe we just make it editable. It's still tearing. I don't know the answer. Do you guys know the answer? Huh. mapping, UV mapping, just shreds it. Ah, man. Yeah, that's not right. I don't know why it's shredding like that. Okay, if it's a displacement map, look at mid-level. Yeah, my mid-level is at 0.5 right now. No. What if I go to 8K? It probably won't fix it. No, that's not going to fix it. This is so weird. It should be working. Alright, I tried clicking seamless. That didn't work. Something on the Fong tag? Use edge break. No, I don't think that's working. Yeah, it's a mapping. I'm on cubic right now. See, this would work if Octane got their business together and fixed the whole displacement issue. This wouldn't be an issue, because then I could just set the displacement or the UV map to box, and that would work. Here's the thing. Look, I'll set this to UV mapping. I'll go in here and basically give all of these a projection map or texture projection, and I'll pipe this in to all of these nodes here. And in theory, I should be able to adjust the projection here of all these images. I'm going to take off the displacement texture, and I'm going to set this to box. And box will basically even everything out. I'm going to scale it up with the UV transform node. I also wish you could just select all the nodes and hit transform and it connects them all or automatically. That'd be nice. It still is kind of doing it. That's so weird. Set the box. Sometimes XYZ to U VW works, but not in this case. And yes, I might just have to make two objects, side and top. That might be the way to go. Bending a plane, that could also work. But yeah, as soon as I give this thing displacement, the displacement won't scale with the image. So, okay. Let's try this a different way. Troubleshooting, guys, that is basically VFX for you. Okay. Let's select the cube, hold control, make a plane. Scale this up and up. We'll set this to 500 by 100. And we'll drag this down onto the plane. So we kind of have, I think it was cubic, 0.2 by 0.2. Yeah, we have our original wall now. And we want to bend this thing. In the bend modifier, let's see here. So with the plane selected, I'll hold down shift and bend is the first one. We'll fit to parent, I believe, or within, let's see. Let's solo this. Pause the renderer. Okay. So this bend dealy here is always weird for me. It's always confusing. Let's make a new scene real quick and see if we can't just bend a normal old. And why am I not seeing it? I don't know why I'm not seeing it. You should be able to see the modifier, but it's not working for us for some reason. Man, just a bunch of tech problems. I'm having trouble here, folks. Well, let's maybe try something else. I think the quickest way to go here is to just make a new one. Something like that. I think we can cut down on some of these subdivisions there. Yep. Let's render it and see what it looks like. Just rendering away. Shoot, Freddy. Thank you. Dude. It was a very generous super chat. Thank you so much. It says, hope we get through these tough times and become the best at what we love doing. Greetings to everyone in the chat. Yeah, thank you so much. How is everyone doing, by the way? Is quarantine going all right for you guys? Is it okay? Is it more difficult than you imagined? Are you guys staying healthy during these quarantine times? Freddie, that was very nice. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, man. Thanks for sticking in. I can't believe that you guys are having a good time watching me troubleshoot here. It's pretty crazy. It's a bottomless bowl of yogurt. Man, sometimes Octane just takes a minute. We're going to get back to this scene, guys, once Octane's done rendering. I'm going to finish this thing up. Yeah. Jamie says he's been in lockdown up for 21 days. Hearing stories can go on for 6 months. It might, you know. I think we're all trying to... It's a very tough balance because, you know, for the economy, we want to get the stores back open, get everything going like it used to as soon as possible. But I feel like if you rush out of quarantine as soon as possible, pardon me, you know, we're risking a huge chance of it coming back. So there's this weird balance, this fine line that you have to play that no one knows the right answer. I wouldn't want to be someone in charge right now having to make these tough decisions because we've never really been through anything like this. So I think it's tough for everybody. But hey, look at that. We got the top of that wall with some texture. I think that's great. We did it. Okay. This little brick structure. I'm not a fan of the lighting, to be honest. Like, the way I'm imagining this in my head is a bit different. And we still want to close in the structure as well. Hey, Pep, I am glad that this is informative for you and educational. I'm glad you're down for this stream. Yeah, heck yeah. Thanks, guys. Trents, thank you. Thank you for the super chat, brother. I appreciate you. Glad to see a C4D artist. I love it so much. I really do love this program. They make it super user-friendly. Yeah, it's just great. I really like the UI. I like the way it's laid out. It's not confusing. You know, the first time I opened 3ds Max, I was just like, oh, this is going to be a pain. But with C4D, everything is colorful and happy and fun and it just looks awesome. And I want to dive into all this stuff. So yeah, I love it too. I'm glad you're using C4D as well. Amir, if you stay in quarantine some more, you'll start learning Blender. Why don't you just start now? Just start now. You have the time. Come on, guys. We have all this time. We're in quarantine. Let's make the best of it. And I'm doing all right. I am doing totally fine. I still get to go on walks, which is really nice.
Yoga.
We got to do yoga. I go out for runs in the morning. It's very peaceful. Very, very peaceful. It's quiet here. I like peace and quiet. It's nice.
And
Yes.
side note, if anyone is looking to foster kitties or doggies during this time, because I've had a couple coworkers talk about it, all of the shelters and different organizations near you, I imagine, would be very happy.
Yeah.
Have someone look after and have some crazy fun animal time.
That makes sense. That's a good thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, that's all.
Hey, what do you think of this scene so far, though? Let me get rid of this dude. What does it need? Minus a cube on top of the thing.
The sky is the same as the snow.
Mm-hmm.
Needs some depth.
Yeah, I feel like it needs some depth as well. This is tough. I feel like this is one that I'll be working on over this week as well.
Good luck.
Thank you. And yes, I watched Chris Schmidt. He is fantastic. I've learned a lot from that guy. A whole lot from Chris. I've met him in person at NAB. We went to karaoke together. It was really fun. So I think there's a way to get snow on top of this tree. But whoa. Okay, guys, that's that's the snow. All right. I don't even know. What on earth? So I guess you have to like set these settings beforehand. Jeez. Yeah, tree snow. Maybe we do the same thing and we just kind of give it that fall off. What's the best way to get rid of fireflies? You need a large jar, very large jar. But no, for real, fireflies. Those are the things that make your image look all weird and crunchy. It's those white specks everywhere. The best way to get rid of those, you go to Octane settings, and you change your when you're in path tracing here. You go to Octane settings, and you set your GI clamp to 1. It starts out at like 1,000,000, like this. But if you take that to just 1, it's going to clean up your scene really nice. Also, if you want to go a little further, make an Octane camera, throw a camera tag on it. And if you take this hot pixel removal right here under custom LUT, under camera imager, you should be able to just drag that slider down and it's going to get rid of those fireflies for you. But setting the GI clamp to 1, that's the way to go. Okay, so Chaz Billy asks, do you have any tips on how to keep motivated and create scenes? So what I'm doing now is creating a scene based off of a description in a book. So that's something that I do to stay creatively challenged. Is take someone else's description from a book or something and try and create that. Or if you guys read any manga or anything or graphic novels, you can try and take a little scene from that and try and render it in whatever program you're using. So those are a couple ways that I get past writer's block or creative block, is use other sources of inspiration. If you guys go on walks, take pictures on those walks and maybe try and render some of the things that you find on your walk. It could be something as simple as like a breaker box. It could be a concrete texture. It could be whatever. It doesn't have to be like a car or a building or anything. But those things are cool too. And why is my name pwnisher? So in what grade was it? 9th grade, maybe 8th grade. Me and my friends got together and we had a little wrestling match every Friday after school at my buddy's house. And we were all watching a show called Pure Ownage at the time, which is one of the best shows ever. Pure Ownage. It's about some socially awkward gamers. And the main character in the game, his name was Jeremy, but his screen name was the Pwnisher, I believe. And we kind of just took that and ran. So each of us had our own names for this little wrestling group. There was Grandmaster Pwn, maybe Sensei Pwn, and then I was the Pwnisher. So that's how I got my name. It's because I just love Pure Ownage. What a great show. All right. This image needs... what does this image need? Right. So, Jovan says it needs story motivation. This doesn't have much story motivation. I agree with you. Because we have yet to add our characters. There are 2 characters, and that goes, I think, that's most of the story, are the characters. I am such a sucker for widescreen here, so maybe we do a little bit of widescreen. 1920 by 810, I believe, is the 2:3:7 ratio we're looking for. Let's lock that. All right. That's some widescreen right there. Let's zoom it out. We'll tilt it up a little bit. We'll move. Maybe we'll get this tree more up in there. I feel like the right we're missing a little bit of stuff, but I think that's okay for now. Let's get this wall going. Alright, so our characters... We need some characters sitting down. So, let me show you guys something really cool. This is the coolest site for 3D characters if you want to animate them as well. So let me just log in to my Adobe here. This comes free with any Creative Cloud membership you may have, or Adobe sign-in that you have. You use your Adobe account. And yeah, you just scroll through a bunch of different mocap data here. And it's loading right now. But basically, you have characters and animations. So we'll go to characters, and we want to find the right character. And we're looking for something realistic, not cartoony. So it's a cold day. It's winter, so we need to find someone in a winter garb here. Let's see. You can also load in your own characters. So maybe, depending on what we find here, we can go to Turbo Squid and download a character. Drop them in here. And see if we can't get them in like a seated position quickly. And I wish they had more characters. You could also grab a photo scan of yourself. And I think there's like actually a pretty cool resource of photo scanned people. And I'm gonna look that up right after this. But basically, I don't think there's like a snow code person. No, there's not. Okay, so let's just save that for a second. Let's see. Let's go to Turbo Squid. We'll type in like winter person. Winter people. These ones, okay, so these photo scans here. I think there's some free photo scans. Santa Claus. No, we don't need Santa Claus. Photo scan person. I think there's a website for like CG people. It's all free. CG people. What is this? Oh man, you probably gotta like sign in and everything, huh? So maybe the person side of this thing might be a deeper dive, because I don't have the exact asset for this. So it's basically someone in like a coat, sitting down in a coat. Which honestly, it's probably gonna be easiest to just like photo scan myself and render that out, get that going, and drop it into the scene. That's probably gonna be the best bet. But that's the story element, because basically it's the same character talking to his shadow. But it still feels, the scene still feels like, I think it definitely needs some fog. I'm such a sucker for fog. Let me pause the render and add a little bit real quick. And I don't think we need that much, but a little goes a long way. So with fog, once again, the first thing I do is set the voxel size in the editor to 100. That way, it's not going to break your viewer here. And we'll just cover our scene. Something like that. Then we can hide the fog volume from the picture viewer here. Let's give it a render. It's probably going to be dark. And Muskrat Mike is asking if there will be a stream with Ren and myself in the near future, or has that been pushed off with the whole pandemic? Basically been pushed off for the pandemic. I still really, really want to do it, and we're going to do it as soon as we can. That's basically where it's at right now. But yeah, we want to do a whole like Boss Town Dynamics thing for you guys live. We'll take like 2 or 3 hours to do it. We basically mocap some stuff, attach the robot to the mocap data, and composite the robot. All right, we'll render, we'll motion track the scene, and we'll composite the robot in After Effects. So we still really want to do that, but it's just, we got this whole coronavirus thing going right now. We got to stay safe and stay smart. All right, let's add. I'm gonna hide the fog for now. I'm just gonna add some detail to this little lean-to here. It said it had like some random building materials around it, based on the text here. So the text says, in a corner stands a lean-to of bricks and building scraps. So let's grab some building scraps from Quixel Megascans here. This website is the best. So we'll go to 3D Assets and we'll see what they have. So building scraps, to me that's like a pile of bricks, maybe some sandbags. Yeah, we'll grab this pile of sandbags. Oh my goodness, I'm out of points. Guys, I'm out of points. Oh, that's horrible. Oh no. Okay, well, what do I have? What do I have to work with here? This dirty wooden table, we could use that. Let's see. We will grab this wall of sandbags here. And grab this crate here. We'll export this to our scene. We'll grab these old wooden boards, of course. Yeah, we'll work with that. Man, those points went fast. I just love this website, though. All right. So what do we have in our scene right now? What's up, Peter? How you doing, man? Guys, Peter France is in the chat right now. He is a Blender mastermind. This dude is incredible. Peter, you should drop your channel name here so people can go check you out. Yeah, Peter is basically a prodigy, a Blender prodigy. Yeah, his work blows me away. He's just unstoppable. He's got some awesome Blender tutorials. And he comes into Corridor once every year for a little bit. We sit right next to each other and talk about CG stuff all the time, so that's great. I hope everything's good for you, man. I hope you're staying healthy, staying safe. All right, let's see. Let's pause the render and see what we got here. We got this wood container. Let's grab everything else here. We got wooden boards. We need those. We need the wooden table. Let's grab our sandbags. And that should be good for now. And we'll wait while everything gets loaded in. Heck yeah, everyone knows Peter. That's great. And yeah, I do need to download Unreal. I need to learn it. It's after that they released that video last year, I believe, called Rebirth, and that thing just blew me away. I definitely needed to download that program and learn while we have time. Sweet. Peter's got some fans in the chat. Heck yeah. So I guess it... Oh, wait. There are my boards. Sweet. And then I still have... to grab that table. Boom. Dude, that table's huge. Alright, so I'm just kind of arranging all this stuff as I feel it would be arranged. just going to take these wooden boards here, drag them up, throw them in a cloner, and just drop them on the ground here. So I'll scale them up a little bit. Let me close the front door real quick. All right, let's throw these guys in a cloner. And if you guys remember from the 3D compositing tutorial where we cloned all the lettuce and dropped it on the ground, that's exactly what we'll be doing with these boards here. Just an easy way to, you know, get stuff scattered around in a natural way. Where is... Should be random. Yep. And then let's just give them a randomizer. On rotation. So it's just a whole bunch of sticks. And we'll give a simulation tag, rigid body tag to the cloner. And we'll select the ground, the table, the sandbag, these boxes, and this wall. We'll give those a simulation tag, collider body tag here. And let's just hit play and see what happens. Yep. So in the cloner rigid body tag, we're going to want to change the collision from inherent tag, set it to compound collision shape, I believe. Nope. I think we have to just do apply tag to children. I lied. Okay. Individual elements, top level. There you go. And let's set bounce to 0, friction to 100. Let's even go 200. So they just kind of like stay where they are. They don't slide all around. Cool. We'll extend the duration of our scene here. And then we'll basically just freeze these guys. That's fine there. So we'll select the rigid body tag on our cloner. We'll go to, let's see. Let's just cache the simulation so we can scrub through it in our scene and find the best angle we want, the best frame. Something like that. And now let's just render that and see what it looks like. Cool. I wonder what would happen lighting wise if we, instead of using the sunlight, let's turn off the sun and let's get out of our camera view. Here's another cool tip actually. If you make an area light, and this could work for anything by the way, you make an area light and you go to camera, set active object as camera. So now you are the area light, and basically wherever you're looking, you're positioning the area light like this. So I'm just gonna do like a top down, maybe from the back a little bit, like here. So that is going to light our scene basically with a massive area light like this from back here. And then if you just switch back to camera view, snap out of camera view, you can see our area light is up there where we were viewing the scene from. So that's a really easy way to position lights. So if we go back to our scene view here, let's render it and see what the area light looks like. Definitely not bright enough because it's tiny and it's way up there. So I'm just going to scale it up. I'm going to hit T, click and drag, and it's going to start to scale it up. And it's kind of giving it a nicer look. Let's take it down to like 50%. Let's keep scaling it up. And you can see it peeking in here. So we'll click the light tag here, go to visibility and uncheck camera visible. And that gives it a bit of depth that I'm starting to like right now. Let's turn our fog back on and see what it's doing. And that's starting to get to a place that I am feeling good about. We still need to surround our scene with a fence, which is going to take some time, and we need to add the characters. I think I'm just going to photo scan myself and put myself in that bench. But we're about at 3 hours now, guys. I think this might just be all the time we have. So I'm going to keep cranking on this thing throughout the week. Hopefully you guys were around for the announcement here. I'm issuing you all a challenge. It is a weekly challenge, a challenge that will come back to every week, and I'll announce 5 winners, the 5 most upvoted images. So basically it works like this. Doesn't matter what program you use, as long as you guys are on our system here and you render. Ooh, it looks like we already got a submission. But the Discord server, link to the Discord server for this VFX live stream is in the chat or in the description down below. Basically, you're going to go there, sign up for the server, and under the streams tab, we have the 1 hour challenge submission. This week's submission is to render a book. Okay? We already got a couple of you guys, and Sotomonte, one of our moderators, has dropped the rules already during the stream. So, everything is due. Your submission is due by, let's see, next Saturday at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I have time to wake up and look at your images. Yeah, render a book. Do it in an hour. Post it to the 1 hour challenge submission channel on my Discord server. And I'll pick 5 of them, the 5 most upvoted ones here. And I'll kind of just break them down and critique them and shout you guys out live on the live stream. In the meantime, another thing, yes, so on my website, noisegrainandlight.com, I am running a 25% off sale only for this weekend, today and tomorrow. All of these images here, super high quality prints. They are archival print quality. That means it's not going to fade, none of that stuff. I ship it out pretty quick as well. Get it to you guys ASAP. Yeah, I'm getting these prices down as low as I can for y'all. While you guys are in quarantine, maybe get yourself something nice to hang up on the wall and look at. And the pictures are from all around the world, film and digital. But yeah, for today and tomorrow only, I got all images 25% off for you guys. So check it out. noisegrainandlight.com/shop. We'll get you there. I think that's everything. I look forward to taking a look at your guys' book renders. And I'll keep cranking. Hello, Gilbert. I'll keep cranking on this image here throughout the week. And I'll see you guys in the Discord server. I'll be there pretty active. Yeah, it's been fun. Thank you guys. Can newbies join? Of course newbies can join. That's the whole point, guys. We're here to learn and grow together. It doesn't matter how new you are to this thing. It doesn't matter how advanced you are. But thank you guys so much for joining. Thanks for sticking in. And I'm going to keep working on this image. I will post updates on the Discord server for you guys. So stay safe and stay healthy. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace.